Hello and welcome back to the Smoking Dragon. Quick update on the Ghostbusters board game. I have finally had a chance to play it and it was fantastic. So keep checking back for a review slash gameplay video of that. But today we are going to be taking a look at Magic the Gathering Arena of the Planeswalkers board game. When I first saw this in the store, I was super excited because it looked a lot like Heroescape, a miniatures and plastic miniatures and tiles game that was big-ish several years ago, but then Hasbro bought it out and then sort of did nothing with it. Some of the pieces look like they are reused Heroescape pieces, but we're going to be opening this up and taking a look. This is actually the first time that I have seen any of the pieces in hand, so gotta cut the... Thought I got all the tape off of it. Always have adult supervision when using a pocket knife. Alright. Oh wow, okay. The first thing you can see is there are a ton of plastic miniatures in here. That is amazing. I may actually reuse this tray when I'm storing the game because it's everybody's got their own little spot. Turn this around. So it looks like here we have. For those of you who don't know, which I doubt there are anybody watching this video that doesn't know what Magic the Gathering is. Magic the Gathering is the most popular trading card game. It's been around for years and years and years. It wasn't my first trading card game, but it's definitely the one that I play the most of now. There's also digital versions of the card game, and you can play the online version on your computer or on gaming consoles. To my knowledge, this is the first time they've ever done a sort of board game type of thing. But the sort of setting of the game just lends itself to a board game, if you ask me. So back to this, it looks like we've got our Planeswalkers here, and Planeswalkers are the sort of main characters of the story of Magic the Gathering. That's right, kids. There's a story to Magic the Gathering. It's not just a card game. So... I don't know all of the Planeswalkers by name, but my favorite Planeswalker is represented in the game. Liliana Vess, she is the black Planeswalker. They're not the most detailed miniatures I've ever seen. Her face just kind of looks like a blob. But they are pretty good quality plastic. There's like some clear purple and clear plastic stuff going on here, so it's kind of neat. Actually, if you just set it down on a table when you're playing a game, like, you really can't tell all that much. But when you really get up there and look at them, I'm kind of like, whoa. I'm not sure who this Planeswalker is, which I'm sure there's corresponding cards to all of them. We'll get to that. This one's obviously the green Planeswalker, though. I mean, the colors are pretty obvious as to which one is which, but that one got something kind of crazy going on with her ears there. She's got some cool fire effects going on here in her hands and her hair and everything, but one thing I've noticed already, and this happens a lot with pre-painted miniature games, is that she's bent slightly to one side, like she should be standing up straight, but that's just because of the way they're packaged. Pretty cool, though. It's a neat little figure. I think this is Jace, who is the blue Planeswalker, and if I remember correctly from like the fiction of Magic the Gathering, he's kind of like the main character as far as the fiction is concerned. He's got this sort of like clear blue plastic thing going on with his mana here, but also his cape is sort of like translucent. That's really cool. They've appeared to paint a clear plastic miniature, which is kind of cool. And then this guy, not sure who this is. I think he's the white a white Planeswalker. If you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, you know of each color of mana. You have red, black, blue, green, and white. And so it looks like all 5 colors of mana are represented in Planeswalkers. I will say this from the get-go, there is an expansion to this game that is already out. I believe it adds a couple of new Planeswalkers, and it also adds a colorless Eldrazi that you can use for the game. So I have a feeling that I will be adding that to my collection very soon, because this game looks pretty cool. So we've got it looks like each Planeswalker has a set of miniatures that they can summon. Looks like creatures or something. And I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I give the miniatures in this game a solid 8. They're pretty cool. The real blemish is this guy's base being all kinds of bent, and that could just be I drew the short stick and got one that was kind of bent. I should point out that I keep saying how impressed I am with different poses and everything else. This game is pretty cheap. I think it runs about $25, and you can actually get it at Walmart. They have a sort of small game section in the toy department. I've seen it there. I've seen it at Target, but it's around $25 for this game, which is just for the amount of stuff I've gotten so far is a crazy, crazy good deal. All right, now I'm going to take a look at the cards. Can't have a Magic the Gathering game without cards, so open these up. First impression artwork is about on par for what you would see in a Magic the Gathering game. One of my favorite. I collect Magic the Gathering cards just as much as I play, and one of my favorite things is the fantasy art on them. If you're familiar at all with Magic the Gathering, you know they have some of the best fantasy artists working on the game. Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, they make Magic the Gathering the card game, so these cards are definitely on par with that as far as quality. They do feel a teeny bit more flimsy than a regular pack of Magic cards, but not like I'm worried about breaking them or bending them. But I dig the artwork on them, as I knew I would. So it's not like you could actually take, these and throw them in your Magic the Gathering deck and be like, I've got mind control. Well, that's going to stick out. And if you're playing professionally, the judges will probably disqualify you or something. Murder your face. There doesn't appear to be, like, a mana requirement or anything on these. So we'll see when I get into the rule book. As with my previous video, the Ghostbusters, we did an unboxing, and then we are going to do a gameplay and sort of a gameplay / review video. I intend to do that for this as well, so then, the card mechanics and everything will probably make more sense to me later on. So, the cards, absolutely fine. They look great. Love the artwork on them. So, under the tray, we have a pack of dice. The dice are a little bit smaller than... Seriously? Okay. The dice are a little smaller than a standard D6. They appear to have three different faces. A blank face, which is a null result, I'm assuming. A defense result and an attack result. Again, this actually is very reminiscent of HeroScape. There was separate dice for attack and defense in that, but they all had an attack, a defense, and a null result on them. Quality-wise, the dice seem fine. They're a little bland. I mean, they're just white and black. The the blank faces, some of them got a little bit of paint transfer on them, which they're fine. It looks like you can roll all of them in your hand really well. Quality dice. A couple of more of the terrain pieces here. Again, you can stack them or attach them. Just being sort of nostalgic for HeroScape, it just reminds me of that, and it makes me want to get out my HeroScape stuff and play a huge game of HeroScape. Maybe we'll do a video about that. Fans watching, if you're fans of HeroScape and you want me to do a HeroScape, like massive HeroScape battle, comment and say that you would like to see that, and maybe I can talk my friends into doing that. We've got some large tile cards here. This appears to be the tiles for the Planeswalkers. Let's see if I can get this open. You know, they make packs of gum with a little thing that you can just pull the off of. Why can't they do that for games? That's why we have teeth. Delicious plastic. This is the cards for the characters. Normally oversized cards kind of bug me, but all of the information that you need is on here, and it's not all like compact and super hard to read. Like the larger card makes all that information more accessible, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, we've got a little bag of tokens here. I didn't have to chew through that one. +2 movement. Oh, okay, so in HeroScape, these would have been glyphs. So I wonder if they call them glyphs in this. +2 movement, +1 toughness, +1 power. Power and toughness are your attack and defense in Magic the Gathering. Knowledge. So I don't know what that one does. But I'm guessing these work like you place them down on the tiles, and then when you step over them, then you get whatever the ability is. So many memories of HeroScape right now. A bunch of little red cubes. If I had to venture a guess, I'd say they were probably damage tokens or damage counters. Some sort, maybe. I'm not going to open this bag because I don't want to lose all these little guys. There's also a D20 in here. 20-sided dice. It's pretty plain. It's just black. That's kind of unfortunate because when you buy a fat pack for Magic the Gathering, you get a spin-down counter that has the set for the 20. The set symbol for the 20. So they could have, like, you know, put some kind of cool set symbol or something on there for the 20, but I've got lots and lots of D20s, so if I wasn't really happy with this one, I could just get a different one. The little clear plastic red cubes, guessing your damage counters. They look fine. Again, I'm not going to open this because I won't lose all those. And then, oh, goodness. So, first off, the rulebook was on the bottom. Take a look at that real quick. Oh my gosh. The setups on the back here look just like the setups for HeroScape. Playing a two-player game. Rulebook. There's a description for each of the Planeswalkers in here. I believe that you can play it either with 2 players, or you can play it with multiple players. And I believe that when you play with multiple players, you can either play teams or like an all-out war type of thing, using multiple game sets or expansion sets. When I first saw that this game was coming out, I thought, wow, this is great. But my one worry, so to speak, was that it's gonna they're going to do one thing with it and then just not do anything else with it. Like when Hasbro acquired HeroScape, I'm drilling HeroScape, but it's just so very similar. When Hasbro acquired HeroScape, they released one set and then did nothing with it. So I was like, great, what are they going to release the starter set, never do anything with it? There is an expansion out for this, so at least they're looks like they're trying to keep up with this game. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe the expansion has a sort of archenemy mode, if you're familiar with the archenemy in Magic the Gathering, where one player plays as an extremely powerful villain and then other players team up to play against them. My gaming group loves stuff like that. We love playing stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited to get the expansion pack. Also, right now I noticed at Walmart they have this, but it also comes with some more miniatures and tokens. Sort of like a bonus set or something. Wish I had seen that before I bought the standard one, but live and learn. So we'll take a look at these. Looks like the board tiles. Also, it looks like the board can be assembled in multiple ways, so that always helps with replayability. Because replayability is a big deal with games, obviously, because you don't want to play the same game over and over again. That gets boring. You learn the strategies, and it's like if you and your friends play Magic the Gathering and each of you only have one deck, and you play Magic the Gathering every day, you learn all of the cards that your friends have in their deck and you know how to counter them. That gets kind of boring, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way, bottom part of the box. Magic the Gathering, Arena of the Planeswalkers. Epic. So this is different than HeroScape. HeroScape, actually, you used all of the pieces like this. Many different sized pieces like this to build your terrain. This is cardboard made to look like one of these. That's kind of... this is different than in HeroScape. This is... in HeroScape, you used many different sized pieces, plastic pieces like this, to build your terrain. This appears to have a number of cardboard board tokens that are sort of made to look like these plastic ones. It sort of goes on there like that. Yeah. They're detailed. It looks like a desert area here. It looks like there's some water here. So it looks like the board pieces, just fit together sort of like a puzzle. And then you can customize your board. Oh wow, look at that. But this is cool. I love the art in it anyways, so having this big chunk of art, it's not, the only problem is it's not like you can display this or anything, because that would look kind of weird, but it's neat that it would have been nice if they made double-sided tiles, but since they didn't make double-sided tiles, they did this instead of it just being blank or white or black or whatever on the back. I will say right now I'm noticing a pattern. This desert terrain and water. That's all we got going on right now. Hopefully in the expansion they make the tiles like this maybe look like a forest or maybe like grass or something to that effect. Like it's going to look kind of bland on the table. We'll see. We'll see when I get it on the table. Now what have we here? It appears to be a wall and some rock, a 3D terrain type of thing to put on there. That's kind of cool. And a little token here. I'm sure this probably represents maybe the first player token or initiative token or something like that. Well, let's pop one of these out and see what it looks like. The cardboard components, I will say, are okay. I just did that. That was me. But I was getting ready to say how impressed I was with how strong the cardboard components are, but I mean, that is that little peak sticking out there, but that's kind of sad. That makes me sad that I frayed that piece. It was obviously weak before I took it off there, but So, looks like you just take these fellas and okay, so the cardboard components I'm pretty impressed with, other than the sort of blandness of the terrain. But you know, when you get some miniatures on there, we'll get blue guy here and red cat there. I mean, you're not going to be too worried about that when you're playing the game. I have a feeling that this game is going to be pretty fun too. The rule book, it wasn't that big, so it's not like it's going to be, you know, a massive undertaking to play the game. It looks like you can get into it pretty quickly and get playing and have some fun. These little cardboard terrain pieces, nice touch. That keeps the cost down too. If this was plastic, then the game would have cost quite a bit more. And the artwork on it is, I mean, you get the idea. There's like a dead skeleton guy there. Poor fella. So, that is the components for the Magic the Gathering Arena of the Planeswalkers board game core set. My first impressions are that I'm going to very much enjoy this game. I was a big fan of HeroScape. Again, these sort of games I enjoy anyways. This one looks pretty accessible. Like, it looks like even, I mean, everybody knows what Magic the Gathering is. I mean, my mom knows what Magic the Gathering is, and she's never played a gaming type of game in her life. She's pretty good at Uno, though. So I'm pretty excited for this game. Check back with us soon for a gameplay / review of the gameplay video. Keep a lookout for our gameplay video of Ghostbusters, and once again, thank you for watching. And if you liked the video, give us a like, and see you next time.